hasn't happened yet. So whilst you're waiting for your happily ever after, while you're waiting for them to prioritize you, you have to not be affected by this, because you know it's going to change. Because why? You know you are the one that set the chain reaction in place from your mind. So you have to change your mind for it to change out here. So guys, happily ever after has just dropped in the squad. And as someone just said, I was crying doing the tasks in the workbook for happily ever after. Oh, thank you, darling, for the sweets. Because I'm so thankful I can have this new life. So happily ever after is 4 workbooks and 3 videos inside my Subconscious Loz Squad, my private monthly coaching group on Facebook. And each month I drop something in there of value to you guys. And this month is a course, and it's the course to get your happily ever after, whether it's marriage or just living together or happily ever after with your person, whether you're with someone right now or not. Maybe you don't even have someone in mind, but you have this in mind. Maybe your whole life you've been imagining being a bride on your wedding day. Maybe your whole life you've imagined that picket fence and the family and having kids, and it has eluded you so far. In this course, I will teach you what everyone has been doing in my following for the last 4 years to get a record number of engagements and marriages. In the last 2 weeks alone, we have had popping up on my lives or comments in my squad or in my free Facebook group, 6, count them, 6 engagements and marriages. And that doesn't include Katerina, who I interviewed 2 months ago, who's now engaged, or 2.5 months ago, who's now engaged. I don't know of many other Facebook groups or manifestation groups around that get that much love success, marriage success, proposal success. And I'm teaching you what I teach my following. Because my following listen to me, they change internally, and they're external changes. And therefore, they end up getting their end. Now, this question in the squad today that I'm going to answer is about that. Because what we're doing in Happily Ever After is going to the end of what we want. Because we know that imagination creates reality. So part 1 of the course I just dropped is all about imagination creates reality and why that's so, how that's so, and how that leads to our Happily Ever After if you do it right. And in this course, we give you scripted tasks to visualize and script your end. And we start with just meeting each other, how we met, the how we met story, and the connection between you. Even if you already met that person, or you're with them now and maybe it didn't go right. Maybe you're trying to revise the way it went. Maybe they went and chose someone else. You met them, it was great, and then it went to shit. Whatever's happened with them right now, or if you haven't met anybody at all and you're trying to imagine this in the future, you do that in part 1. Then part 2, we jump to the proposal, okay? Then part 3, the wedding day. And then part 4, your happily ever after, life after the wedding. Because it doesn't just end with the wedding, guys. You could imagine a wedding and end up getting divorced afterwards. That's actually happened to a couple of my followers who were so determined to get married and then let their self-concept slip. They got their person, or they got their person back. They got engaged and married, or engaged in my group, because they listened to me and did the work, and then they let their self-concept slip, and then they lost them again. Some of you might have been divorced a number of times, or been engaged but never got married a number of times. What is the pattern in you that's causing that? In this, we will undo that with imagining the end you do want and becoming the version of you that gets what you want in the end. You're happily ever after. So come and join us in the squad. It's only $50 to join the group, or $35 if you join yearly. And I will answer this question, which is all about that. So let me go to this wonderful question in the squad at the moment, which really ties in with happily ever after. Let me read it. Oh, where's it gone? Oh no, it's disappeared. Ah, I saw it. Oh my God, it just disappeared. That is so annoying. maybe the person deleted it because I didn't really want me to mention their name and say, oh no, there's heaps. 5 comments. Oh my God, there's heaps. Whilst imagining living in the end, how do I confidently approach the 3D, for example, trying to co-parent our child and change my thoughts as he always travels to us from me currently having to initiate contact and ask when he plans to see our daughter? the end, us all being a family and living together. So maybe you don't want marriage. Maybe you just want the end and all living together. Maybe you want to end the separation with your person and you've got children together. Maybe you want to happily co-parent. Whatever it is, whatever your end is, you've got to imagine yourself with it now. Now, let me just explain to you how manifestation works. Let's go back to basics for a second. Someone keeps asking to go live with me. Can you please go away? Please, I'm going to decline you. God damn it. The whole point of manifestation is to be the version of you, be the you that has it already. So if this person is trying to have already the perfect family back with their person, no separation, their specific person, their baby daddy wanting to be with their daughter and them, they must imagine now that that person wants that. They must imagine now that they are a happy family. They must put out of their mind anything that's happening in the 3D. So, obviously what's happening in the 3D with this person, and this will apply to you if you've got some shitty 3D circumstances with your specific person at the moment, whether you have children or not, whether you're married or not, whatever it is. How do I confidently approach the 3D whilst living in the end of the happily ever after? That's the bit that so many of you have trouble with. This 3D out here is showing you something completely opposite than your happily ever after. Completely opposite than you being in contact. Completely opposite than you being together. You're actually blocked. Completely opposite, there's a third party. Completely opposite, your person's actually married to someone else. What do you do in these situations? Now, in happily ever after, we go in our minds and imagine what we want instead. Even if the out here has fallen apart. Even if out here you can't feel confident in, as this squatty has said. I'm trying to change my thoughts to he always travels to us from me having to initiate. So what must she be thinking if she feels like she always has to initiate and ask when he plans to see our daughter? Those of you who know my teachings, tell me what her self-concept thoughts must be about herself and her daughter in relation to her person, that she feels she has to initiate and ask him if he wants to see her. What must she be thinking? They are not a priority. They are not chosen by him. They aren't the priority. Not a priority. Not good enough to be chosen. Aha! My squatties, listen. So if this is what she's thinking that's causing the 3D reality out here of him not prioritizing them, not even prioritizing his own daughter, then what she must do with that 3D reality she keeps seeing of him not initiating, her having to initiate, her having to ask, is change the thinking that put that chain reaction of motion in place of him not even initiating, of him seemingly not caring about them and especially about his daughter. He doesn't even plan to see her. So the kernel of the thought came from that person's mind. That specific person is now reflecting out in this 3D that he doesn't care, that he doesn't prioritize, that he doesn't want, that he doesn't initiate, that he doesn't do, that he isn't there, that he isn't united as a parent with her. And that must mean that she has to change, for this 3D to change, her thoughts to he cares, he wants us, he prioritizes us, he loves our daughter, he loves our little family, he loves his life with me, he loves his life with us. If she was thinking that whilst this out here was changing, if she was thinking that while this out here was shitty, if she was thinking that whilst this out here was showing her the complete fucking opposite of him not prioritizing them at all, she could go within in her mind and imagine lovingly for this man and see him the way she wanted, even though out here isn't showing up right yet. Have you seen that Meghan Markle thing? She's like, he doesn't know how to tie his shoes yet. They haven't cancelled my podcast yet, right? It hasn't happened yet. So whilst you're waiting for yet, whilst you're waiting for your happily ever after, while you're waiting for them to prioritize you, you have to not be affected by this because you know it's going to change. Because why? You know you are the one that set the chain reaction in place from your mind. So you have to change your mind for it to change out here. And I know that seems not very helpful right now when the 3D is shitty right now. But if you can understand this and understand that everything is created by you, that's why we do workbooks where you're literally creating your end. Then if you can see the end in your mind, if you can change your mind about that person, if you can change your mind about yourself, if you can change your mind about being not prioritized, then it won't bother you, the out here, because the out here is bothering you so much because you think they're making up their own mind and doing what they want and making their own decisions. Does this person think their specific person is making his own decisions? Does she think she has to do things to make things happen, like initiate because she thinks he doesn't care? Is she doing things because deep down she doesn't understand they have no free will? Yes and yes. Guys, if you are affected by out here, you aren't getting it yet that they're reflecting you. You aren't getting it yet that they're reflecting your story that you're not prioritized. You aren't getting it yet that you don't have your happily ever after right now. You don't have your happily ever after right now. If you are affected by your 3D reality right now, you aren't getting this right now. And this person's in my squad, and they should understand this. And they should have watched all my recent YouTube must-watch videos about this, like you are their puppet, or they have no choice, or they aren't making their own decisions. Go and watch them all in my must-watch playlist. Because I tell you what, guys, if this still affects you out here, you aren't getting this. Oh, but what do I do whilst he hasn't changed yet? You just go, oh, I mustn't have changed. That's why he hasn't changed. Oh, no, Loz, but it's still affecting me and upsetting me that he's not prioritising us. Yeah, because you think he doesn't prioritise you. So think he does. But he isn't. Yes, but you think he isn't. Oh, no, but I think he isn't because he isn't. No. Thinking came first. The thinking goes first. Then the reaction, the chain reaction out here occurs. So what is occurring came from you. And if it's still occurring, it's still coming from you. So you mustn't have changed what's coming from you. Oh, no, I haven't because I think he doesn't prioritise us. So he won't. But he doesn't initiate and I have to always call him and it looks like he doesn't care. So he won't. But what do I do? Think he cares. But what if he doesn't initiate? Think he will. Are you guys getting this? But what do I do in the meantime while he hasn't rung my daughter? You think better. Or whilst you take the action in the 3D, you think better. You can still take the action, but a lot of the time, the action is coming from the thinking that they're not going to take the action. The action's coming from the old thinking you still have, like they don't care, so I have to initiate. That's why you're initiating. So stop initiating. Can you? I bet you can't. Oh, but my daughter wants to see him. Try it. Try not doing what you used to do. But you can still do it, but you have to change your thinking while you do it. The thinking is the problem, not the doing. And the thinking is causing you to do the doing because you think you have to do the doing because of what's happening, but what's happening is because of the thinking. So you don't have to do the doing, you have to do new thinking. Are you guys getting this? Why do you think all my courses are about scripting and visualizing and new thinking? Your thinking is causing out here. Who isn't getting this? Who isn't understanding they have no free will? Who isn't understanding they're reflecting you? Who isn't understanding they're fucking repeating everything you're thinking in their actions and what they do? Who isn't getting it yet? But Loz, it hurts my feelings when he does this and that. Okay. But what if I have to wait ages for him to initiate with our daughter? Okay. In the meanwhile, why don't you change your thinking? Are you getting this, guys? Some of you have real trouble with this because it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? The thinking came first. You have to change the thinking. So whilst you're looking at here and it's bothering you, you've got to be more like me. I'm like this with my 3D. What? Oh, God. Something happened today and someone said, oh, yeah, this has happened. And I'm like, excuse me? And I laughed about it. I was like, that's fucking psychotic. Something someone did. And I was just laughing about it because it's a fucking psycho. But it came from my thinking that this person's really upset. So now they're acting upset. Like, I can't do anything but laugh about it. Because I caused that by thinking that. Right? Oh, God. My cat has to be in the live. What are you thinking right now that's causing the 3D in front of you with your specific person that's bothering you and causing them not to give you your happily ever after because of your thoughts? Do you know? If you don't know, come and change those thoughts in happily ever after in the squad where we are living in our happily ever after for the whole month of September and not allowing our old thoughts to throw us and living completely in the end as Neville Goddard taught us. And I go through with 3 teaching videos as well as these workbooks how Neville Goddard himself manifested marriage. And in the first part that's just dropped, that's in the guide section, I go in depth about Neville's marriage story, about when he met his second wife and how that magically manifested for him in marrying her, even though the circumstances were completely shit. So this person who's in the squad who asked this question needs to go and watch part 1 of Happily Ever After right now, where I explain how Neville Goddard overcame his shitty 3D circumstances with his ex, which is her fucking question. She mustn't have watched it yet. Go and watch that first video, guys. Understand how you're reacting to your 3D, how you're not creating your 3D reality that you do want, how you're stopping your happily ever after, and come and get the support of the squad. I also go live on a Friday and answer your questions. We have our Q&A forum, and there's also our mentors who go live on a Mentor Monday, on Mondays, talking about the themes of the week from the forum. And it's a lovely, supportive accountability group, the squad. It's a lovely, supportive community in there of like-minded people who all understand the law, who can help you, guide you, do the course with you, understand you so you don't feel left out. I know it's hard when you want to talk about manifestation with your friends and they don't fucking get it and they think you're a nutcase. We're all nutcases in the squad. All right, guys, come and join us. It's until the end of this month, September. Do not miss it. It's a lovely, joyous month in there this month because we are all going to get our happily ever after. And I'm talking about you. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, make sure to subscribe.